Hi, everyone, and welcome to our 11th episode of the Greenhouse Ensemble's Quarantine Soiree on Zoom. I'm your host, Rihanna Armellino, and I'm streaming live from Manhattan. And it is spooky season. I know I talked about this last week, but I love spooky season. I'm actually feeling really grateful here in the Northeast, though, because we're having really a beautiful fall season. I hope that everyone is experiencing the same thing that we are. It was like 73 degrees out today, and I was able to walk all the way from Wall Street up to Times Square. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Manhattan, that's like a 3.5-mile walk. I had no jacket on. It was absolutely gorgeous out. And during this pandemic quarantine time, I feel like it's really a blessing for us to be able to spend as much time outside as we can, especially those of us who live in apartments, tiny apartments in the city. It's really just wonderful. But like I said, it is spooky season. And I do want to share with everyone before we get started this really fun thing that my brother texted me the other day. He got his dog, Cody, who's a rescue dog. And he's a wonderful little guy. He's always so sad. And so he got him a perfect Halloween costume, I thought. So I'm just going to show it to you guys. Can you see? He's Eeyore. I think that's so cute and funny. I love Halloween. I love seeing the kids and the dogs and the pets all in their costumes. I think it's just going to be wonderful, a wonderful uplifting thing for all of us this year. Anyway, tonight's episode, we're sharing The Defenders of the Tender Gender Bender by Rich Orloff. This is the second play that we've done so far during our Quarantine Soiree that's written by Rich Orloff. The first one that we did was the ultimate battle for the total control of the entire universe. And if you didn't get to catch that, you can go to our YouTube page, the Greenhouse Ensemble, and there all of our videos from the Quarantine Soiree are there. I think it might be the 6th episode. I'm not positive, but you'll be able to see it. It'll be called Ultimate Battle for the Total Control of the Entire Universe. So tonight's episode is directed by George Pappas, and it's featuring Christina Calph, Sean Park, and Daniela Dakich. If you would like to support the artists who are in tonight's performance, you can do so in 2 easy ways. The first is to visit www.greenhouseensemble.com/support us. There you'll be able to make a tax-deductible donation. Or you can simply Venmo us. It's at Greenhouse Ensemble. All of the money that you contribute will be split among the artists who worked on tonight's project. So, without further ado, we bring you The Defenders of the Tender Gender Bender by Rich Orloff.
So we're going to frame this as a positive, right?
Definitely.
An opportunity for growth and understanding.
Right. Really think so?
I have no idea.
Oh.
It's not like this is in any of the parenting books.
I wish there was another choice.
Carl, there's no time. Sandy needs to be able to make a decision.
But they're so vulnerable.
They have a lot of strength, maybe more than we do.
I hope so. Sandy?
Be with you in a minute.
I really wish there was another choice.
Would you rather file a lawsuit that we may or may not win, that would subject our child to all sorts of unwanted attention and that could cause trauma our child might never outgrow?
Maybe, but let's first find out if our new neighbors like us.
Hi, Mommy. Hi, Daddy. I got ready for bedtime.
Good job.
I started reading Bobo a bedtime story, but Bobo's mind kept wandering.
Well, maybe Bobo's just tired.
I think Bobo has ADHD.
Darling, are you excited about your new school year at your new school next week?
I think Bobo needs a prescription.
Bobo will be fine.
So we met with your new principal and guidance counselor and your new teacher, and they were all very nice, accepting people.
very open-minded, very accepting.
For example, one of their students is transgender, and the school is completely accepting of it.
You two sure are using the word accepting a lot.
And we explained your situation.
That I'm a hermaphrodite?
Right. The school actually prefers the more contemporary term intersex.
But we explained how you prefer the classic hermaphrodite.
I'm cool, like the Greek gods.
Right. Now, as we said, they are very open-minded.
But they've never had a student before who's a hermaphrodite.
Should I show them my genitalia?
That's not necessary, they believed us.
Eventually.
But you see, honey, as open-minded as they are,
And accepting.
they've never dealt with this situation before.
Does that make me special?
Everyone is special.
Boba thinks somebody took the special out of special.
So when it came to discussing bathroom use,
They're not going to make me use a porta potty outside like the last school did, are they?
no.
I hated that, especially on the rainy days.
We know.
I just want to be like every other kid, but special.
I think you've accomplished that.
Now, the new school has a policy that, and I wrote this down.
Listen carefully.
Should Boba listen?
Bobo should listen.
Pay attention, Boba. Focus.
Gender diversity is welcomed at our school. We encourage our students to choose the bathroom that best fits their gender identity.
I'll choose special.
The school wants you to choose if you identify primarily as male or female. Either is completely fine with them.
But I'm both. Can't I use both bathrooms?
They want you to choose male or female.
But either is fine with them.
Oh, okay. Then I'd like to be a boy on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I like to be a girl on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
And will you be on Sunday?
I'll be Norwegian.
I love you.
Now, if you need to think about this a while,
But why do I have to choose? I'm both.
that's true. And you know how we want everyone to be accepting of you? Well, sometimes we need to accept that it takes other people a while to get used to new concepts. So we need to bend a little to become accepting of them.
I think Boba has issues with this.
Darling, I know this is difficult.
It's easy for me. Boba's the one with the issues. Grow up, Boba.
Look, honey, it's an old building. The people who built it, they didn't know that some kids are gender fluid.
Boba hates the term gender fluid. It sounds like a lubricant for a robot.
Honey,
I'm a hermaphrodite, like a Greek god, but cuter.
Oh, you got that right.
it's just, well, it's unfortunate, but some people can't quite grasp you're a mix of both sexes. But if you can become tolerant and patient with them, then when you grow up,
You can be tolerant of all the bigots you meet.
Carl,
I thought I framed it as a positive.
Does this mean that from now on, when I get a hamburger, I can only get ketchup or mustard? Sometimes I like both. Sometimes I like neither. And sometimes I like a lot more one than the other. Are people going to start messing with my condiments?
nobody's gonna start messing with your...
Boba says first the bathrooms, then the cafeteria.
Honey, I know why you're upset.
Oh, I'm not upset. Boba lacks emotional development.
Now, it's only for school hours. When you're home, you can be anyone you want to be.
Can I be Eleanor Roosevelt?
Definitely.
Can I be the intersex Eleanor Roosevelt?
Your Eleanor Roosevelt can be whoever you want Eleanor Roosevelt to be.
You just can't make fun of FDR for having a disability.
Got it.
So at school, not at home, but at school for just a few hours a day, which would you rather be, boy or girl?
Remembering that girls can be just as good at sports as boys.
And that boys can be just as bad at sports as girls. Let me rephrase that.
You too wish I was a boy or a girl, don't you?
Not at
Oh, of course
all.
not.
I thought I was special. You once said that I was the gender equivalent of shampoo and conditioner in one.
Sandy.
Are you really glad I'm intersex?
Darling, you're every mother's dream. You're the son I always wanted and the daughter I always wanted. And I only had to go through labor once.
Look, I know this is a lot to deal with, so take your time. And remember, most kids don't get to choose which bathroom they use. You do. That's special.
I think I'll choose the one with the shortest line.
Okay, then you'll be a boy.
No, I'm not a boy. I'm not a girl. I'm both.
Honey.
I want to be peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, sweetie.
I want to be vanilla and chocolate.
Darling.
I'm a hermaphrodite, just like Bobo.
And we love Bobo, but
How come none of my friends' stuffed animals are hermaphrodites?
Most stuffed animals are afraid of their sexuality.
I have so much to learn.
honey, I know we discussed this before, but do you think maybe you'd prefer to, would you like to be homeschooled?
You don't think I'm a freak, do you?
No, I love you exactly as you are.
But unfortunately, the school doesn't know you like we do.
Boy, it's a good thing that I'm not a minotaur. They wouldn't know what to do with me. Is my new teacher going to freak out?
Your new teacher is very excited to meet you.
Last year, when I said I thought Peter Rabbit was a hermaphrodite, the teacher got so upset.
Yeah, well,
I shouldn't have said that in class, huh?
it certainly started an interesting discussion.
I think it's bedtime.
Do I really have to choose? Really?
I know. Why don't you ask Bobo what Bobo thinks you should do?
That's disgusting, Bobo. Bobo needs a timeout.
I think Bobo's just tired.
Well, it is Bobo's bedtime. Sandy, we'll think about what you said.
Promise?
Promise.
Mommy, Daddy, if men
Yes.
are from Mars and women are from Venus, where am I from?
The entire solar system.
Cool!
How do we do?
Sometimes I think 90% of parenting is just figuring out the least awful way to ruin your child's life.
At least we don't have to raise a minotaur.
Oh, that'd be easy. In our society, a minotaur would fit right in, half human, half bull.
So, what do we do now?
Wonderful work, everybody. That was great. I love this play. It reminds me so much of this other play that I love called A Kid Like Jake. I don't know if any of you guys have read this play or heard about it, but it's one of my favorites. I think it's so interesting to talk about the kind of issues, new issues that parents are dealing with as far as their children and their fluidity, and the teachers having to deal with it too. I love plays written on this subject. So welcome, everybody. Great job. That was really beautiful work. Cool. I'd love to take a minute to just kind of talk with you guys. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. Actually, I love every part of the show, but this is one of my favorite parts where we all kind of get to know you guys a little bit more. So what I'd like to talk about today is in the play, poor Sandy, she's just a little girl and she's forced to make a decision about something that she doesn't want to, and she's not happy about it. And so she's kind of learning this lesson about really what growing up is about and being an adult. So I was curious if any of you would share with us that if you've been put in a position during the pandemic where you've had to make a decision about something that you weren't happy about doing, something that was a problem on the best choice of a bad situation. So if anybody wants to jump up and jump in and share their thoughts, I'd love to hear them.
What do you guys think? I have no regrets. I'm perfect. I gained 15 pounds over pandemic. I regret that. I mean, I really hate that part. I've had a good pandemic. Besides, people dying, that part sucked. But I mean, I think so far I made the best out of a shitty situation. But that's just me. But I gained 15 pounds, so that's probably thank you, Tara. I gained 15 pounds too. It fucking sucks. That's just me. Like, what about you guys?
Quarantine 15. It's true.
It sucks.
It's a real thing. I heard a friend of mine the other day called it the COVID-19, which I hadn't heard, but apparently he gained 19 pounds instead of 15. So,
oh my god, god, it's hilarious.
Yeah, so that it is a thing.
Yeah. Who's next?
You are Daniela. You are Daniela.
Oh, okay. I love that. I think I gained some pounds too. I really don't like eating and weighing myself. It's okay. Yeah, you're still holding a bottle of wine while you're on that. It's funny. You said if we were unhappy about something.
Yeah, like if there was a decision that you had, like for example, a decision that you had to make.
In the beginning, when the whole thing started, I just came from overseas where my parents are, and I kind of was unhappy because I wasn't with them to help them and take care of them. But then I was here at my home because this is my home and this is where my heart is. So it made me unhappy that I have to choose between people you love and you want to be surrounded with somebody you love because, they can, kick the bucket any moment. I mean, I can be that person too. I mean, young people die too. Or am I going to be at my home, in my safety, my stability, like my nest? I really, really regretted spending time on Facebook. Oh my God.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah. I think that's why I gained the weight because of freaking Facebook and just people's comments and everything. I was every day butter knife, cutting my veins. And every day I tell myself, no, I'm not going to go to Facebook, and then I spend next 9 hours on Facebook, and I'm like,
yeah.
I think that's probably something that everybody's made a bad decision with, is all the time that they spend reading comments on Facebook. I have to remind myself all the time, stop reading the comments. They're not good. There's no point. You don't even know these people.
Fighting with other people.
Yeah, exactly. Or reading other people's fights. I don't know why we're addicted to it, it seems. How about you guys? Either of the fellows want to chime in here?
Sure. I agree with Mary Francina. I don't have a scale, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way as Christina. I try to, it's not like it's only affecting me, it's affecting everybody else as well. Trying to stay positive, but honestly, nothing compares to, just bringing the topic back to the play a little bit, because the play, at first I was like, oh, it's a funny play, it's a comedy. And then the more we worked on it, I got the impression, this is a really, really shitty situation for Sandy, the worst. Yeah. I mean, and for the parents, of course, because the parents raised her, him, her, them. I'm getting used to this. with that mentality, you're both, you're neither, you're either, you're both, it's you don't have to choose. And then we're basically kind of like betraying that logic on her, and like nothing beats that, really. I mean, like, so yeah, anyway, no, I'm personally, I don't, there wasn't anything like super difficult I had to go through, anything like that. But
Good for you guys. You're very lucky. I'm happy to.
I don't know if lucky is the word. In this pandemic, my best friend died. Like, and she was my age. And like, if there's been like not just me. I mean, we have in our circle of actors friends, we know people whose spouses have died and parents have died. It's just constant on Facebook, in my life, in everyone's life. We're all in this hell together. But I think the people that I've been surrounding myself, like George and Carl, oh my God, I had too much wine. Sean.
I'm Carl.
Sean.
Grape juice.
Sandy.
Is that grape?
Anyways, my family, these people are making we have these Zoom families that are like making the best out of these situations. I have so many relationships over Zoom that I spend more time with these people. I know them so fucking well that if I were to meet them, then I would know them better than people that they, see every day during the week, because we're in these worlds and we support each other and we help each other get through this bullshit, So I mean, I regret that. It's been very fucking hard. Excuse my language. Sorry.
Yeah, let's try and keep the language a little PG. We are live on Facebook right now. So if we...
Oh, shit. Sorry. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Let's kind of just dip it with the cursing.
Yeah. I'm trying my best.
Reanna, me?
Yeah.
2020 dialogue.
I've got to say, I think in many ways I've been incredibly lucky. The one real positive I have to say is, without having to do a lot of things to survive that get in the way of my desire to be creative, I've spent a lot of time working on this play, working on scenes for classes I'm in, working on, vocal technique, working on all sorts of things, doing readings, doing Shakespeare. I've loved all of that. The one, and a lot of self-tapes, which, good God, I thought that would just be the worst, but I'm kind of enjoying it. But the one choice I had to make, and I guess the choice was made for me really early. I'd wanted for several years to go to the Turner Classic Movies Film Festival in LA. I used to live in LA. I lived there for 9 years. I have a lot of friends there. And I love Turner Classic Movies. To go to see these films in those great theaters, I so looked forward to it, looked forward to meeting people who I've had conversations with online that I've never met, looked forward to seeing my friends from LA in my spare time. And of course it was canceled. And even if it had not been, I probably would have not gone at the last minute, because the thought of being on a plane. But a very, very dear friend of mine, who I would have seen if I'd gone in April for this, passed away in August. And she had been really fine. She was a cancer survivor, but it caught up to her again in late June. And we had a couple of conversations before she knew the extent of what was going on. And then, the next time I go to LA, I will not see her. Mm-hmm. And I think this is just a reminder that no matter how lucky I have been personally, this is something so many people are going through. It is nothing anyone should ever take lightly when anyone's health is at stake, whatever the reasons. And I would like to say that it has been a savior to have the creative efforts I've had to work in this time.
100%.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, George. I'm sorry for your loss, and everybody. I mean, I feel like as a country, we're all going through this mourning period together. So it's nice that we have each other, like what Christina was saying. We have our Zoom families, we have our creative families there, and So at least we're able to come together in this time of extreme loss, because I'm sure all of us know somebody, especially those of us in New York. I feel like we've been touched a lot harder than people in other places have. So it's good that we do things like this and Zoom games and all the wonderful ways of staying connected. So thank you guys for sharing your thoughts, and thank you for your work tonight. It was beautiful. And to our audience, thank you for being here for our 11th episode of our Quarantine Soiree on Zoom. Tune in next week where we'll be sharing 6 Feet Down, written by Mark Cornell. And it's perfect for spooky season. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.